A lot can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. By great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout. That gut reaction. We've all done it. And we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, and some days, not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
And a very good afternoon and welcome along to Timpletoe in County Tipperary for round 2 of the TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Football Championship, the meeting of Galway and Tipperary this afternoon. Well, we've really had the 2 seasons here in one day. Beautiful summer sunshine early on this morning, but it's been replaced just before throw-in by a very severe thunder and lightning storm that has brought plenty of rain. Quick check on the teams as they line out, and the Tipperary team showing 3 changes from the side which played Kerry in the Munster Championship a few weeks ago. The English sisters Clara and Sarah joined Nessa Tui in the starting 15. All those changes in the full forward line. Anya Delaney, Marie Creedon and Eva Finnessy dropped down to the substitutes bench. The Galway management team have maintained the same starting 15 that took to the field against Cork the last day out. Now, in that particular game, they had a big impact from the bench when they were able to bring in a player who has scored a significant total of 1 goal and 3, but finds herself starting there again in Kate Slevin. She has to make do with a place on the substitutes bench for this game, but undoubtedly will be a big impact if and when she makes her appearance. Alva Daverin scored 2 goals for Galway in that victory against the rebel county. The match referee comes from the county of Mayo this afternoon. And of course, Gary Moore McMahon is the man who is taking charge of today's game. Big day again for Gary Owen, of course, the man who previously refereed the 2018 All-Ireland final just a number of years ago. Big match official for this particular encounter. Samantha Lambert, the former Tipperary captain, is alongside me on co-commentary this afternoon. First outing for the Premier County and 3 narrow defeats in the Munster Championship. It'll be a matter of maybe trying to learn from those and transfer defeats into wins.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tipperary will really be after learning from those 2 defeats. 2-point defeat to Waterford and 3-point defeat to Cork. So they were very, very close in both encounters. So they'll be looking to push Galway all the way today.
So the referee throws in the ball and away we go. Tipperary immediately with Aisling Maloney operating out around the middle of the field, at least for the throw-in. That's early possession here for Emma Morrissey. She brings the ball forward, Tipperary in their traditional colours of blue and gold. Again, the ball comes out to Clara English, one of 3 changes from the team which was out the last day in the Munster Championship against the Kingdom. Angela McGuigan just trying to walk the ball along this near side as well. Possession maintained here by Tipperary in the opening exchange, just to give them a foothold in the game, as Maria Curley, their captain from Templemore, plays the ball back in towards Nessa Tui once again. So Tipperary very much looking to build on the exploits of the Munster campaign against a Galway team here who have already safely secured 2 points on the board following their win against Cork. Niamh Martin, all Tipperary so far. Ball goes out there to Cleona O'Dwyer over on the far side of the field. Back in it comes to the full forward who drops in the shot, and it finds its way into the back of the net. Well, Niamh Martin got the shot in, but I think it was touched inside, Samantha, which led to the goal.
Yeah, brilliant goal there. Aisling Maloney got a hand to it into the goal. Great start for Tip. They were very patient in the build-up, and a good start.
Yeah, Aisling Maloney in at the right place at the right time. She got the touch to it, and that was able to deflect it into the back of the net. So a goal for Tipperary, and that's the perfect start for the Premier County here. I'll be absolutely thrilled about that, but Galway immediately looking to hit back with Leanne Cohen. Plays it over there towards Lindsay Doon. Back out it comes to Tracy Leonard. Galway immediately intent on getting their opening score of the game, and the Cara Finn lady taps it in and taps it over the bar. Well, it's been a whirlwind start to the match here. We've had those 2 early opportunities, resulted in a goal for Tipperary and a point for Galway, and this really has got the hallmarks of a game, Samantha, that could certainly give us plenty to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely. Galway with a good response there. Tracy Leonard scored 2 points in the last game that they were playing, so she'll be one to watch. She scored 2 points against Mayo, 2 points against Cork, so she's one of their key players, and Tip will have to keep an eye on her.
Well, a point for Galway, a goal for Tipperary, and the early exchange is very much letting us know here that we could be in for a blockbuster of a game in the TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Football Championship. Semple Stadium in Thurles not available for today's game, but definitely everybody here at the club grounds has certainly pulled out all the stops to make sure that we're going to be treated with the best possible hospitality. Pitch in wonderful condition as well. Timpletoe just looked like almost like a carpet when we got the opportunity to walk it a little bit earlier on today, and the conditions really are perfect for what should be a very, very entertaining and interesting match.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, Galway are going to be looking to build on last week's performance against a Cork side that were probably favourites going into the game after their impressive win against Kerry in the Munster final. So their confidence is after being built back up, I suppose, after their loss in the Connacht final against Mayo, which they would have been hoping to win that time. So as well as their defeat in the Division 1 league final against Kerry. So it's important that they got their winning ways back up and running, and they'll be looking to keep that up now today.
Well, Lindsay Doon thankfully has recovered for Galway, and it's an opportunity for them to come forward again. Hannah Doon has carried a lot of ball inside there. Aoife Malloy bringing it in this time, but cut out there by the Tipperary defence, who have got players back, including Niamh Martin. You're so right about Galway. Lost the National League final against Kerry, lost the Connacht final against Mayo, but really produced some of their best form in the championship opener against Cork, as the ball goes all the way back there towards the direction of the goal. Has been defended by Karen Connolly in the opening half, and that's Sarah D. Lynchy, the Galway captain, who has carried it out from there, and Galway now moving the ball well through the hands. Aoife Di Kelly. Eventually it comes here to Roisin Leonard. Plays it in over the top once more. Taking the return on here is Olivia Diffley. So many of the Kilkerran Clonberne players in on the Galway ranks today. That's got in here towards Roisin Leonard. Recycles it back outside again. Good confident start here for Galway as Hannah Doon brings the ball forward. Doon getting the fisted pass outside her. Links up with Lindsay Doon. And Lindsay Doon having no way forward at Galway again are going to recycle it. Roisin Leonard looks around, checks the options, and eventually now gets the pass back as Galway moving it with Shauna Brennan. Shauna Brennan bringing it up past the 45-metre line. And now in possession here is Olivia Diffley. Midfielder is Nicola Ward. Back to Tracy Leonard. Tracy Leonard trying to weave her way forward, and the referee has judged that she's technically overcarried or fouled the ball there. That's going to be a free out for Tipperary. Important for them. I know they might have conceded the opening point after getting the goal, but they've consolidated themselves defensively here and consolidated their position in the game with that 2-point lead.
Yeah, definitely. They really, I suppose they're very compact in defence there, and keeping Galway out and making them make the mistakes that they're making or over carry and put them under pressure. So I think Peter Creedon will be quite happy with the start that they're after getting, and they're really after settling themselves into the game.
Well, Peter Creedon's team have been here before. I know what it's like to play in the senior championship. Recent intermediate championships, of course, have catapulted themselves into this grade as Maloney again takes on the Galway cover, plays that diagonal ball right across the face of the goal. Dangerous ball always to defend, but it goes out to the goalkeeper's right and wide for Tipperary. It'll be very important, I suppose. The wind maybe has died down a little bit as a result of the thunderstorm that we had prior to the game here, so no real huge significance you feel there, but for Tipperary it'll be a matter of taking every chance that comes their way, you get the feeling.
Yeah, definitely. There was a wind coming across the field there earlier, and it can be a hindrance or it can be a help, so to be looking for anything to help them get a win under the belt today.
Galway looking menacing again as they bring the ball forward through the channels here. They've walked it into Alva Davarin. Is it inside? It takes the return. It's a great move this from Galway. Can they finish with Tracy Leonard? All of a sudden the avenue to goal blocked off for her, so she has to recycle it. Leanne Cohen. And Leanne Cohen to Olivia Diffley. Back to Cohen. Still one or two flashes of lightning you may be able to see on the screen. Ball comes out here to Hannah Noon again. Noon coming forward in the right-footed delivery. Down again here towards Lindsay Noon this time. And back to Hannah and Lindsay. And Galway very much now beginning to get themselves into gear here. Obviously shocked by the concession of the goal early on, and they've given away a free, and that's more examples there of how the likes of Emma Cronin and Elaine Kelly and Lucy Spillane have really settled down well in the Tipperary full back line.
Yeah, definitely. I suppose they're dealing with quite a strong full forward line there, and Tracy Leonard, Alva Dalvern and Roisin Leonard, who have been chipping in with a lot of scores there in the last few matches, and they'll be quite happy with their performance so far, keeping Galway out and putting them under pressure to kick the ball in.
Elaine Kelly has offloaded the ball here again to Aisling Maloney. Plenty of runners in the Tipperary team been able to carry the ball forward, but it's just going in and maintaining possession of the inside forward line is proving to be a little bit of a problem. Roisin Leonard operating deep, plays that ball outside her, and again it's got into space here. Alva Davarin again, the player who found the net twice in the game against Cork last week. Kate Slevin, as we mentioned, starting on the bench despite scoring 1-3 in that game. Tracy Leonard, and here it goes to Roisin Leonard. Goal, maybe opportunity, and the goalkeeper goes down well to take it. Lauren Fitzpatrick diving down smartly, got the body behind it, and that's a good confidence builder for the goalkeeper as well. Yeah, definitely. Lauren's an excellent keeper and very safe hands to have in goals, and Tipperary lucky to have her in there between the posts. So she really does set off the attack well, and you can see there she's well capable inside in the goals and stopping shots like that from coming from Roisin Leonard. No respite for the Tipperary defence at the moment as Lindsay Noon carries the latest attack here forward for the tribeswoman. Well, we have adopted a very positive approach since conceding that goal. Nicola Ward bringing the ball in forward now. Again, it's won inside here by Tracy Leonard. Tracy Leonard gets the opportunity to turn and shoot, and indeed scores her second point of the game. So 2 points for Tracy Leonard has reduced the deficit here to a single point. It's Tipperary a goal. It's Galway 2 points. And once again, I suppose from a perspective here of Galway, Samantha, just to look at it from their viewpoint coming into the game, one of their players been spoken to there by the referee as well. In fact, she's actually adjusting his radio. That's what the problem is. And in fairness to Tracy Leonard, just making sure that the referees is fairly mic'd up, and Galway back to it in 1 point. Game really settling into a nice balance now. Yeah, absolutely. It's really getting exciting, I suppose, between the two teams, and Galway seem to have settled in the last 5 minutes and winning the breaking ball that's there. So Tipperary need to up the game and get back into it like they were at the very, very start. Davarin with Shauna Brennan making the run, this time outside the support player again, opposite that diagonal ball, but well taken again by the commanding figure of Lucy Spillane in there at full back for Tipperary. Here's Niamh Martin. Remember that goal that Tipperary scored from Aisling Maloney, set up by Niamh Martin with the ball in. Their only score so far. Clara English, just like her sister Sarah, back in the starting 15 today for Tipperary after missing out on the final Munster Championship game against the Kingdom. Peter Creedon making those 3 late changes. Davarin again bringing the ball forward. Again has got some space here. Galway with so much experience on view. Davarin to Noon. And now they switch it out here to Roisin Leonard. And Roisin Leonard shoots some distance and finds the range and finds the target. Our opening point of the game. The two corner forwards have contributed the 3 points so far. 2 for Tracy Leonard and 1 from Roisin Leonard. And that means we're level at 3 points to a goal.
Yeah, excellent score there by Roisin. Just turned and kicked off her right leg over the bar, and she scored 3 points against Cork last weekend. So she's another one to look out for, an exceptional player, very, very talented, and Tip will have to keep an eye on her too.
Well, it's going to be a matter now for Tipperary to try and very much get maybe the next score themselves. Got off to that perfect start to the score the goal so early on, but since then Galway have chipped away at the lead. 3 points unanswered means now we have parity in the game here. The ball back again with Elaine Kelly, the cornerback for Tipperary. Here's Lucy Spillane again, fisting it over there towards the main stand side of the field. Nessa Tui bringing the ball forward. Tipperary with options up on the attack, moving well from defence to a more offensive role. One of the things they'll be looking maybe to improve on from their National League campaign as well. Elaine Kelly plays her club football with Kappa White. I guess the pass back here to Clara English. Galway with so many players back, so Tipperary now happy to maintain possession. That's a Terry again. Good play here from Tip. Maureen Murphy is the centre half forward. Still in camera shot there. And I said the ball is kicked across to this near side to Elaine Kelly. And now in possession here is the midfielder again, Emma Morrissey. Eve Martin. Ball breaks free there to precisely the wrong moment. Tipperary were anxious to win it back, but good corner back play there and well read by Aoife Kelly, who was able to spot where the ball was about to go loose and did well to win it back for Galway, and now they can break with Aoife Malloy on the far side of the park. Malloy bringing the ball forward. Teams level here. 3 points to a goal thus far. Lindsay Noon again in possession. And Noon now playing it over very close to the sideline on the far side. Well won back there yet again by Maria Curley, who's the team captain for Tipperary. Cleona O'Dwyer decides to go all the way back here. Tipperary quite happy to bring it back and bring out their goalkeeper. Lauren Fitzpatrick is a +1 in this move. Lucy Spillane has very much directed the orchestra back there in the opening stages of the game. Emma Morrissey. Good move from Tipperary. Lots of options as to bring the ball forward here. Spillane has continued on up with that run. Still in possession and gives it back here towards Angela McGuigan. Teams level. 3 points to a goal. Tipperary again with Clara English. And now they walk the ball forward here to Elaine Kelly. Elaine Kelly looking to cut in along the outside. Options blocked from that particular route, but again Tipperary, as you can see, so many bodies forward, and Eve Martin is their full forward, and they played a somewhat hopeful ball in there over the top, but again the referee's whistle has sounded, and again it's going to be a free out. Well, Tipperary are doing a lot of good play, managing to bring the ball forward, but just in order of trying to get maybe something productive at the end of it is the difference and the difficulty for them.
Yeah, they're finding it very hard to kind of get into a scoreable position, and they're going to have to try penetrate through the Galway defence if they want to get more scores up on the board. 1 goal so far, so they're going to have to start taking shots on and getting their scorers in scoreable positions, giving them the opportunity to get that ball over.
Leonard has played it in here to Davern again. And it links out here now towards the direction of Shauna Brennan, making herself available and takes the return and brings it forward. Still it's Brennan. Galway in a dangerous position again. Leanne Cohen this time is the player who shoots, and Leanne Cohen has dispatched that in and over the bar. It's her opening point of the game, and it's 4 points now at this stage for Galway and a goal for Tipperary.
Yeah, excellent score there by Leanne. 3 scores on the board already for Galway, and they've now 4 points up and 1 point ahead now.
So Galway hit the front for the very first time of the game. And that's a significant moment for them. How will Tipperary respond? Sarah English winning possession for them on the far side of the field. Coming away with it there is Cleona O'Dwyer. Good play from her as she looks around to see what options are available. Clara English. They moved it quickly down along this near side of the field. That's a dangerous ball in there towards the direction of Aisling Maloney, but two Galway players have converged in on her there to make life very difficult for her. And I suppose after getting that goal early on, she's very much been a marked woman since.
Oh, definitely. And I suppose, look, she's always going to be a marked woman. She's an exceptional player, great leadership, and we see that in the Munster Championship she scored 112 against Cork, and she's an exceptional player. All teams have her highlighted, and she's been well marshalled inside in full forward line today.
Well, it's a quick turnaround for Tipperary. They're going to face Cork in the final group game on Saturday, July the 1st. It's just over a week away, so it's going to be a fairly quick turnaround indeed for Tipperary in this group. Galway, I know today that if they manage to get a victory here, not alone will they be through to the quarter-finals, they'll also be guaranteeing themselves a home quarter-final. And to give them to come forward, Aoife Kelly. Excellent running from her. Down again there towards the full forward line it goes. Referee just waiting to see if any advantage was going to develop out of there. And instead it came back with Emma Cronin, who was quite happy to pick it up and clear it for Tipperary. The Tipperary player hits the ground as the ball was played towards her. The aforementioned Aisling Maloney, who's getting plenty of attention from the Galway defence. But Tipperary continue with the attack. Clara English trying to get that support ball outside. Back it comes here to Angela McGuigan. Gets her shot away. Oh, brilliant finish. Angela McGuigan. What about that for a goal? Well, you might always ask the question, maybe she was going for a point, but I think she had definitely goal in her mind there, and that is absolutely magnificent.
Excellent goal, excellent, absolutely brilliant, well worked, and Angela can get in like that. She's a very skillful player and full of energy, so excellent goal, and that's exactly what Tipperary needed.
Spotted the goalkeeper off her line and finished the ball absolutely majestically over the head of Karen Connolly into the Galway net, and all of a sudden Tipperary now are back in the lead again. Galway have to do it all over again. Hannah Noon, Lindsay Noon, they're playing with real intent, and now Galway are in for a goal. It's Tracy Leonard, and all of a sudden it's raining goals in Templetoe. 1-2 now for Tracy Leonard, and the perfect response for Galway. Galway 1-4, Tipperary 2 goals. What a match.
Oh, it's from one side to another. You can't take your eyes off it. It's absolutely brilliant. Great goal by Tracy. She's, as you said, she scored 1-2 today. She's really on fire, and they all seem to look to her to kind of orchestrate what's going on in the full forward line.
Well, 3 goals and the opening 20 minutes alone has certainly got the crowd going here. And the temperature is beginning to pile up a little bit on the field as well, never mind the weather. Referee throws in the ball. It's TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Football Championship at its very best here as the Premier County. Many people's underdogs coming into the match have very much taken the challenge to the tribeswomen so far. But Galway just getting their noses in front here at a crucial stage, but we'll be very much concerned maybe about the concession of the 2 goals. Angela McGuigan and Aisling Maloney getting them for Tipperary. Their 2 corner forwards very much finding the net. The 2 corner forwards, the scorers for Galway so far as well. Tracy Leonard with 2 points, Roisin Leonard as well on the score sheet. Tracy Leonard with 1-2, I should say, and Leanne Cohen with a point as well, the centre half forward for Galway. So that'll tell you how the scores have been spread out so far. Tipperary with Lauren Fitzpatrick getting the clearance away. Galway picking it up and starting it again. Davern has dropped out the field. Olivia Diffley, as always, a great option in that half forward line to take the ball on. Immediately fouled, takes the free quickly. Into open space it goes. Shauna Brennan has popped up in this channel more than once in the game so far, and Shauna Brennan this time executes the finish to perfection in and over the bar for her, and Galway stretch out the lead. Tipperary 2 goals, Galway 1 goal and 5, 2 between them. And I suppose from a Galway perspective again here, Samantha, you have to really credit the way that they've responded from the concession of those 2 goals.
Yeah, and it's very important. The response of a team to score on the other side is extremely important and shows the determination that they have in Galway to get back up the field and show them what they have. So an excellent score.
Yeah, Leanne Cohen giving the ball to Lindsay Noon. Galway again carrying it forward and looking dangerous as they bring it to the inside channel, but Tipperary's defence, you could say maybe by times an overwalked Tipperary defence, very much standing firm there. Tipperary's scores maybe somewhat have come maybe against the run of play. You could claim that Galway have had a lot of the possession so far. Hannah Noon Just still very much again this in the balance as Olivia Diffley gets her effort away, and the Galway machine now is beginning to move up a gear or two. At this stage they would be looking at, I think, 4 of the 5 forwards now have scored, including 4 of the 6 forwards, including the wing back, have contributed Galway scores so far into the game. And Galway now at this stage lead by 1 goal and 6 to 2 goals. Good spread of score for Galway so far, and that's always impressive to see.
Absolutely, they have 5 scores on the board now, and they're impressive against Mayo as well. They had 7 scores on the board, and against Cork last week they had 6 scores. So it's great to see a spread of players, and that's important. Like, you need everyone chipping in order to get the scoreboard taken over and to beat teams that they're going to come across. So I suppose having 5 scores on the board at this stage of the game is very positive for Galway.
Galway team who racked up a good score in their opening game against Cork, won that game by 3 goals and 11 to 1 goal and 11. Alva Daverill with a crucial goal 11 minutes before full time to eventually help them seal the win. That was her second goal of the game. Katie Slevin, as we mentioned earlier, scored 1-3 after being introduced off the bench. It was a good way to respond to the disappointment of losing the Connacht final against Mayo, where they went down 3-13 to 2 goals and 9. Tipperary's preparations for the game very much all focused in on the Munster Championship. 3 games for them, and like Galway, who just had the provincial decider. And it seems there might be some more bookkeeping there for Gary O'McMahon, the referee, to take note of as well. So once no more, we get back underway. Leanne Cohen certainly has looked lively for Galway. Here she is again in possession for them. No immediate route back, so it's that tried and tested method for Galway. Louise Ward carrying the ball into an area where Galway might be hoping that Nicola Ward here might really impact some damage, and they managed to recycle it back here again. Olivia Diffley gets the shot away off the right, well taken by Lauren Fitzpatrick, the goalkeeper again. Has done everything that's been asked of her so far. Has taken every ball good and close into the body that has got in there, particularly on a wet day like this. Always confidence like that from a goalkeeper spreads throughout the entire team. Emma Cronin has brought that ball forward for Tipperary. Cleona O'Dwyer has attacked at regular intervals on that far side of the park so far. Again, it's that final ball going in there, leaving a little bit to be desired. Aoife Kelly and Kate Garrity, the 2 cornerbacks, combine, and eventually it comes out towards Aoife Malloy. Galway's turn to hit on the counter-attack here again. 3 points to the good, the tribeswoman. 4 minutes of normal time remaining at the end of what has been a very, very enjoyable opening half. Hannah Noon, right up the field, moving forward. Possibilities once more here for Galway as they look around to see what options are going to be available to that inside forward line. Kate Garrity, who was involved in the move right at the very beginning, running over there towards the far side of the field. Infield pass to Leanne Cohen. Have to look lively to secure the ball, and out it comes to Tracy Leonard. Support off her shoulder, and yet again it's Shauna Brennan. Point to her credit so far. Olivia Diffley, an equal number of scores got in the game. 1 point for her as well. Back again to Brennan. Out it comes to Leonard. Tracy plays it inside to Leanne Cohen. Dangerous ball in from Leanne Cohen, but again it's taken there by Lauren Fitzpatrick. The 2 teams have left a number of chances behind them there as Lauren Fitzpatrick, the Tipperary goalkeeper, surveys what's taking place out the field in front of her. As Towie is their midfielder, deciding to go right back in front of her own goal there, Emma Morrissey rather, and now they've worked the ball out into a more forward position. One thing for sure, possession retention is a big factor of ladies football now. Yeah, definitely. I suppose if you don't have the ball, you can't score, and the Tip girls are trying to hold on to possession, make the right choice, and not give away possession. I suppose primary possession is very important, and keeping the ball is one of the highlights of the game now these days, and hand passing is a big factor in it too. Angela McGuigan, one of the 2 goal scorers for Tipperary so far, involved again in this move. Here's Emma Morrissey again. Constant threat. Morrissey bringing the ball forward, running with it, getting it out to the right boot. Will this be Tipperary's opening point of the game? It certainly is, and it comes from Emma Morrissey. Well, their opening point almost took 28 minutes to arrive, but it was the end of a good team move. And interesting to note in the championship this year as well, I suppose the use of the goalkeepers being brought out as the +1, and Lauren Fitzpatrick Patrick looks comfortable in that role from time to time for Tipperary.
Yeah, an excellent player. As I said earlier, she's had her time outfield as well, so she's very confident on the ball, taking it on, soloing it, and look, she's a real leader inside her, and that's what you need inside in the goal, between the goal posts, leading and inspiring girls around her.
Well, just 2 points between the teams here as we approach half-time. It's nicely poised, to say the least. Tipperary will take confidence of this. Olivia Diffley looking to take some of that confidence and take some of the steam away from Tipperary. Ball got in here again to Ward. Leonard, Ward. Galway always having plenty of options up front. Devron. And the referee again blows the whistle, and this time it's going to be a free in. And Tipperary's defence, which has been in the main fairly disciplined and well organised and well set up, have conceded the score this time, and it's an opportunity for Roisin Leonard to have a look at the posts, and one she's going to kick from the ground. Well, I think the wind has significantly died down. It was a little bit breezy earlier on, but the severe thunderstorm that we had here before the game took a lot of that out of it, and Roisin Leonard has tapped that over for her second point of the game, so she keeps the scoreboard ticking over. And once again, Galway bring that 3-point lead back into play. Temple-Tuohy's weather today sunny, with the chance of showers. And that chance of showers materialised well and truly before the game started. Big change in the conditions, wasn't there, just before the throw-in?
Absolutely, there's and it does change the game too. Like, it's very slippy. Ball really needs to go to hand today, and the bouncing ball isn't going to be the same it was before we had the thunderstorm. So massive change. Massive change
indeed. Aisling McGuigan again bringing her. Angela McGuigan again bringing the ball forward. That's going to be a free for Tipperary, much to the collective displeasure of a number of the Galway players there. We're somewhat unhappy with the way that decision went, but Angela McGuigan has picked up a knock as well. Galway girls would be fairly familiar with Gary O'McMahon, referee from Mayo. They would have come across him at a number of occasions in maybe National League games and Connacht club matches as well. And running repairs required here on the Slieve Naman corner forward. Those two corner forwards inside for Tipperary, very much key to their offensive plan that they brought to this championship.
Definitely, look, they seem very defensive, Tipperary. They're getting all the players back. I looked at one stage and there was only one forward inside in the full forward line for Tipperary. Everyone else is back defending. But having those two forwards, Angela McGuigan and of course Ash Maloney, they're exceptional players, very lively, and they're always out in front to get the ball in. And look, they're hard to mark. And as you can see, they've both chipped in with a goal today. So they'll be looking to further their scoring account into the second half. But it's just approaching the half-time whistle now.
Plenty for the respective management teams to ponder as we approach half-time. Galway played in Division 1 of the Little National League, went all the way to the final where they played Kerry, finished second in the table but suffered a 5-11 to 1-10 defeat against the Kingdom in that league final. Certainly was maybe evidence of a hangover from that defeat still when they played Mayo in the Connacht final a couple of weeks ago. Niamh Martin bringing the ball forward here for Tipperary. Full forward has thought about maybe playing the crossfield ball, maybe ill-advised with the benefit of hindsight. And now an opportunity for Galway, and just look at her, they're moving the bodies forward here. Player who eventually gets possession for them is Tracy Leonard. Almost went ahead of the ball. Leanne Gowan. This was the pace that they broke at. And it's back here to Nicola Ward again. And Nicola Ward keeps the ball in very close to the sideline on the far side of the field. And it's transferred back outfield once more and comes here to Aoife Ní Kelly. Has always looked lively throughout the game. And the pass now comes in here towards Tracy Leonard again. Galway very much aware that we've played over 2 minutes of injury time here at the end of the opening half. Rivoli plays it forward to Shauna Brennan. And again, that speculative ball inside, well dealt with by the Tipperary defence. This time back there was Aoife Malloy, almost in that full-back position. But did really well to cut out the danger. And that's going to be a free out now for Tipperary. Referee making sure that it's taken from the correct position. Brought it forward a little bit maybe for some decent in the Galway ranks. And Tipperary now with Cleona O'Dwyer coming forward once more. Angela McGuigan. Back it goes to Lucy Spillane. And now kicked back by Maria Curley to Lauren Fitzpatrick. Goalkeeper again just giving us the example of how she's been deployed as that +1. Another trend to the game plan that has been brought forward by Peter Cretan's side here for this championship opener for them today. Galway's second game, but the opening round encounter for Tipperary, a game of huge importance for them, particularly with the All-Munster derby to come against Cork. That's going to be an away game on Saturday next. Emma Morrissey really coming forward here. Galway with 2 points on the board already, or 3 points on the board already. Ball switched back to Niamh Martin, back out to Emma Morrissey and Nessa Towie holding on to possession well. Loose pass, however, and they win themselves a free at the end of it all. Emma Cronin was the player who was fouled. Corner back there, that's going to be a free for Tipperary. Almost 4 minutes of additional time played here at the end of the opening half, with 1 or 2 stoppages prior to the game getting underway, a telling factor in that. Again, Tipperary look for more scores. Again, they decide to use their midfielder Emma Morrissey. Point to her credit so far in the game. Indeed, their only point scorer. 2 goals coming from the inside forwards. Very much making sure that they're alive and kicking here in the match at half-time. Possession back out again to Lucy Spillane. Galway really dropping that many players back that they're inviting Tipperary to come on to them. Morrissey goes to ground under the tackle, and that's going to be a free in. And a sustained period of pressure coming up here now for Tipperary. And they'll be maybe hoping to see if they can just get another score or so before the interval. They'll play plenty of encouragement from their opening half performance, and with that goes the half-time whistle. So at the interval here, it's Galway in the ascendancy, but no doubt about it, Tipperary here have given them plenty to think about in the opening half, and the respective half-time team talks will be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. I think Tipperary will be quite happy going in at half-time, 2-1 to 1-7 to Galway. So I think they will be happy enough. You can see both teams are very, very defensive in their setups, getting 15 nearly behind the ball at times, and it's kind of hard to penetrate through both defences. But Galway will be disappointed, I think, with the 2 goals that they've conceded at the very start, and they'll have things to work on, things to say at half time and coming out here in the second half. So I think we're in for a very interesting second half, and it'll be interesting to see what changes will be made, or if there'll be any position changes made in the Galway or Tipperary teams.
All to play for in that second half. At half-time, it's Galway who lead, but Tipperary well and truly in the game. The half-time scoreline, Galway 1 goal and 7, Tipperary 2 goals and 1. Second half commentary to come very shortly.
A lot can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. They're great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it, and we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
Well, you're very welcome back here to Templetoe in County Tipperary ahead of the start of our second half coverage of the game here between Tipperary and Galway. Nicely poised at the interval. Tipperary 2 goals and 1 point. Galway 1 goal and 7. And by the way, apologies for any technical glitches and difficulties people may have had at the beginning of our broadcast. The thunder and lightning storm just prior to throw-in resulted in a few technical glitches indeed, and challenges for our technical team here that led by Rory O'Brien that performed miracles to get us back on air. And hopefully you're enjoying our coverage of this particular encounter where Galway and Tipperary have served up an absolute cracking match so far. Samantha Lambert is on co-commentary alongside me as we get ready for the start of the second half. Big half coming up here for both teams. Galway obviously looking for the win and guaranteeing themselves a home quarter-final. For Tipperary ahead of the game against Cork, they really want to take something out of this match, a positive result.
Yeah, definitely. Look, as I said, they're building on their confidence after 2 defeats in the league final and the Connacht final. So last week, an impressive win against Cork, who are after coming out of the Munster Championship, a Munster final against Kerry, with an extraordinary win against them. So they'll be looking for another few points on the board today, and as you said, have a home venue for a quarter final. So. I think 3 points down at half time, Tipperary will be quite happy after going in at half time, and I'm sure they'll look to make amends as well in the second half.
On the Boyle Tipperary ground, very much looking so well here as always. And indeed, a big thank you to everybody who has made us feel so welcome and everything they've done for us here for today's broadcast, really pulling out all the stops. The ground that was named by supporters in one of the national newspapers as Tipperary's ground of the year. That's as recent as 3 years ago at the start of 2020. And Galway team back out on the field, and we spoke about how they reached the league final in Division 1 and the group stages of the league. Played 7. Well, I played winning 5, drew 1 and lost 1. Already blip coming against Kerry. That's Gary Owen McMahon, the man in the middle for today's game. A Galway team in there that, even when it comes to the Division 1 team of the year, had cornerback Sarah D. Lynchy, centre half back Nicola Ward, midfielder Alfred Averin, and left half forward Olivia Dively, all named on that team of the year as Tipperary emerged for the second half. A Tipperary team themselves that had Anne Rose Kennedy included in the overall team from that Division 2 team. And speaking of her, of course, it's a Tipperary team, I suppose, in many ways that could be doing with her today as well. Tell us what you know about her injury.
Yeah, Anna Rose is a massive loss for Tip today, but she'll be disappointed not to be featuring in today's encounter and next week, so she won't feature next week either, I'd say. So massive blow for Tipperary. Massive blow
indeed for Tipperary. And here they go into the second half without one of their talismanic leaders. Niamh Martin is out there and looking to get Tipperary off on the front foot. Plays it back to Aisling Maloney again. In the angle, a little bit acute to even contemplate a shot from there. So instead the pass goes back to Elaine Kelly. Once again, the Kappa White cornerback looks around and gets the support from Laura Morrissey, the centre half back, running and weaving her way through the Galway defence. Emma Morrissey has kicked a point in the opening half, and she's kicked a point right at the start of the second half as well. Good point indeed from Emma Morrissey, given Tipperary, who scored a goal at the start of the opening half, have now got a point at the start of the second half, and it edges them that little bit closer. Good start indeed for them.
Absolutely, excellent score by Emma Morrissey there. She got herself into a scoreable position and set herself right up and took it quite well, so Tip will be happy with that, starting again with another score on the board.
10 points to 8. Scoreboard reading now at this stage. Galway get their first meaningful attack in the second half underway. Lindsay Noon deciding to offload from distance. Well, it goes out to the wrong side of the post and wide. Wide count has been fairly low by both teams so far. The accuracy of the main has been good.
I was just ticking it off there as well. There's only been one wide between both teams, I think, in this game so far. So,
which is an amazing stat, isn't it?
Absolutely. So they'll be happy enough with that.
Yeah, maybe one or two did fall short. That was taken by the respective goalkeepers, particularly Lauren Fitzpatrick for Tipperary. And he gets her restart away and successfully manages to hold on to possession. Maria Curley, the team captain now, Tipperary in their traditional blue and gold colours, playing from right to left here in the second half as we look out from opposite the main stand. And Tipperary, a team who have had sporadic appearances in the senior championship in recent years after being part of successful intermediate teams that Samantha would know all about in 08 and more recently in 2017 and 2019 when they won All-Ireland glory. And now it's Sarah English who comes forward. English getting her pass out there towards Aisling Maloney. Scored that opening goal for Tipperary. The direct ball in from Niamh Martin. That's in case anybody missed that at the start of the game. It was the perfect start indeed for Tip, as Louise Morrissey switches it out here again to Martin. They're really building with confidence, you get the feeling here as this game progresses. Emma Morrissey over on the far side, looking to make some inroads. She might fancy a shot from here. She manages to offload it, but it just goes to the wrong side of the post and it just goes wide. But I think it's very evident from looking at the game, Samantha, you can really sense the confidence very much building in the Tipperary style of play, that they know they've got through the first half. They know they've gone toe-to-toe against a Galway team who have been at the business end of the championship and league in recent years, and they probably know that they're well and truly to compete at this level now, Tipperary.
Yeah, I think I agree with John. I think they really have a sense of belief there in themselves after coming out of the second half, and they feel that they can get a win out of this game, and they're going to drive forward as much as possible.
And Galway looking to come on the attack themselves. Alva Davern was the player who was the intended target at the end of the move, but they just ran out of space in the end. Nothing that the Galway full forward could do about that. Well, we number 14, but a player who can equally comfortable playing in so many different roles for Galway. Again, Fitzpatrick looks around and to see if there's options available. Decides to go long, right out of the 45-metre line, and does well to find Sarah English. The lengthy kick out worked well for Tipperary. Laura Morrissey back again to Cleona O'Dwyer this time. Somewhat loose clearance into the middle from her. A Galway look to punish here on the counter-attack as they bring the ball forward, through the corner forward. Roisin Leonard, dangerous one, right in there again towards the goal mouth, but watched safely by Tipperary's minder, Lauren Fitzgerald. And another chance comes and another chance goes. Well, maybe from a Galway perspective here, a little bit unusual for them. We're just seeing maybe some indecision in the inside forward line, and the final ball going into the forwards, into that lethal full forward line, maybe not all that it should be.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, but I think it's down to the Tipperary defending kind of putting pressure on them coming in, and they're not getting the perfect ball into the full forward line. As you said, they're a lethal full forward line. Tracy Leonard, Alva Dalvern and Roisin Leonard, they've been doing serious scoring in the last few matches that they've played, and I think Tipperary are doing a great job on them, but I think a lot of it is as well coming out of the field.
Yeah, it's going to be that 45, isn't it, for Galway? But if this is the case and it goes over the bar, it'll be worth two, because they're attempting to kick it from the ground, and Roisin Leonard is placing it there. That is on the 45-metre line, and the linesman is going in to signal that it is a 45. So all bets are off. If this goes over the bar, it'll be worth 2 points, remember. Something that hasn't been achieved all that often. And Willow drops this one in, trying to keep it in play. There was Davern, just ricochets out off the hands of the all-the-way number 14. And the second time of asking, the ball has gone wide. No, it's something that's been discussed a lot. Your thoughts on converting 45 from the ground? Still difficult, even though 2 points, I suppose, having a significant tailwind is a big help. Yeah,
I suppose you want to have the tailwind, but it's a serious skill to have, and a real addition if a team does have a player that can kick 45s over the bar. So Roisin Leonard is probably one of the ones that can do it if she had a wind behind her that's strong enough.
Aisling Maloney at the other side, looking to make some headway here against the Galway defence. They've got bodies around her, but not tackling her within the rules of the game. And that's going to be a free in here for Tipperary, taken quickly. As Tip again look to move here. Niamh Martin carries the ball into the tackle. She claims she was illegally taken out of her possession there. Referee not necessarily agreeing with the decision. And Galway break again here with Hannah Noon through the middle for them. Out towards Leanne Cohen. Cohen right up there past her own 65-metre line. In towards Olivia Devley again, good ball forward. Worrying moments here. Nicola Ward plays it inside to Lindsay Doon. Still Lindsay Doon. There's the shot. And there it goes from Lindsay Doon. Right into the back of the net. A goal for the Galway team. A brilliant sweeping move right up the field. And Lindsay Doon's shot nettles in the top corner of the net. 2 goals and 7 to 2 goals and 2. And how significant could that be?
Oh, very significant, John. I think, I don't know, did she mean it or what was it? Was she going for a point? But an excellent score and another score on the board for Galway, and they'll be happy with that. They'll be a lot more comfortable taking on the second half.
Well, I think maybe more difficult to judge whether she meant it compared to Angela McGuigan's goal, where we seem to be very much in the consensus that she was going for a goal in the opening half. But nonetheless, Lindsay Doon's shot still ends up in the back of the net and equally accounts for 3 points. And all of a sudden, there's 5 between the teams now. And at this stage, Galway, well, it's a little bit of momentum building up behind them. Will be quite happy to have established the lead. Next score is crucial for Tipperary, you feel. Niamh Martin again claims that her arm was being pulled. She's not getting any of the frees from the Mayo Batch official so far. And Galway have possession again. Opportunities for them here with Aoife Malloy to bring it forward. Tipperary retreating bodies back. Tipperary will be coming to a position where they're going to have to very much stick or twist here before too long as Leanne Cohen offloads that one outside her. Here's Alva Davern back again to Leanne Cohen. Goalkeeper has come out of the goal, and that just did enough there as Cleodor Dwyer got back in to tidy up proceedings. Galway are having more of a penetrating force running at the Tipperary defence now in the second half.
Yeah, they seem to be attacking them a lot more in this half and really driving at the Tipperary defence and taking them on. And you can see that they're breaking the lines, they're getting through.
Elaine Kelly has pushed right up there again for Tipperary. Still it's Elaine Kelly. Good running from her, and looks to see if there's going to be further options available. And once more, the referee has awarded a free this time. The girl that was fouled was Aisling Maloney. The referee has got the notebook out as well, just explaining his decision to the Galway captain, Sarah Ní Lynchy. There we go, McMahon awarding that free in here for Tipperary. Just momentarily concerned about the welfare of Aisling Maloney, player from Kerr, who has scored a goal in the match so far for Tip. And we'll now be looking to add on to that balance. A switch taking place over on the far side of the field. Siobhan Dively, number 20, is coming in. And number 7 is the player who makes way there, Shauna Brennan. A player who has really worked hard with those marauding runs that she has made right throughout the course of the game. Her involvement here comes to an end as Galway begin to empty out what undoubtedly is a very strong substitutes bench. Number 19 has also come in there for Tipperary. I think it may be Caitlin Downey who is the player who has come in for them, number 19. I'll tell you in a moment who has been called ashore by the Tipperary management team. Emma Morrissey prepares to kick this free. Off the right, Morrissey finds the range and finds the target. And her third point of the game. So 2 goals and 3 for Tipperary and 2 goals and 7 for Galway. Ball again goes right across the face there of the far side, and over the comes here towards Aoife Ní Kelly, the cornerback for the Galway team. Natural players, and they're moving it quickly out the field. Here's Galway's sub, who has just been brought in, Siobhan Dively, wearing number 20, eager to make an immediate impression. Galway have upped the ante in the second half. Leanne Cohen very much involved in this move. Back out to Lindsay Noon it comes. Ball squirms free and going across to try and take it there. I think Kate Slevin, number 21, has come in as well. And that could be another change being made there by Galway, so they're certainly emptying the substitutes bench at this stage, at a relatively early stage, but the conditions are warm, the conditions are hot. And indeed, bang on cue here. Kate Slevin, a player who scored a goal and 3 points after being introduced from the substitutes bench in the opening game against Cork last week. is back in here and looking now to get her opening point of the game from here. But unfortunately, from her perspective, it fails to find the target. Very much not like her. She'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, no, excellent player. She, as you said, John, she was after scoring 1-3 in the game last week after coming in as a substitute from Cork, and same again in Mayo game in the Connacht final, scored 1-2 as well. So a real impact sub, and one that you'd love to be having on your bench to come in and break through that tackle when teams are getting tired.
Always difficult maybe to come in and land that first free, and she has to put that to the back of her mind and try and get on with making a difference here, with only 4 between the teams. Still not by any means home and dry territory for Galway as of yet. Tipperary have shown plenty here that they can be a meaningful challenge in this game, and they're on the attack again. Bringing the ball forward is Elaine Kelly, trying to find Angela McGuigan with the pass over on the far side. Well won back by Galway's Aoife Kelly. Cornerback winning it, but the whistle had sounded and the free has gone the way of the Premier County. Once again, apologies for any interruptions to the broadcast at the start of today's transmission. Very much due to a severe local thunder and lightning storm that we had here just prior to throw-in. Free coming up for Tipperary in a game that has been hugely enjoyable nonetheless. Here comes the free. That's the Towie, is the player who is going to take it. Ball bobbles in there dangerously. Galway need commanding presence in around their own area at the moment, and they've managed themselves a free, and the ball comes out here again towards the direction of Kate Geraghty. Geraghty playing the ball in through the centre. Galway attacking through the middle with Leanne Cohen now. Cohen gets it across here to Tracy Leonard. Tracy Leonard moving forward and links up again with Leanne Cohen. Good build-up play as Galway look to extend their lead here. Hannah Noon, the player in possession. Noon still has it and switches it over there to the far side, running onto it. Here is Hannah Noon, their midfielder, and number 9, Lindsay. Noon once more involved in the mix. Back it comes to Louise Ward. Good player, always comfortable from positions like this, and gets a shot in, and it's ended up going into the top corner of the net. Well, Louise Ward gets the goal for Galway. Their number 6, an excellent finish from her, and another hammer blow for Tipperary, 3-7 to 2-3.
Yeah, hammer blow, you could say that again, John. Excellent score again. I don't know, did she mean that, but as you said just before that, she's a pivotal player, an extraordinary player in fact, for Galway, and has really kind of orchestrated play from where she goes. She controls the tempo and the flow, and an exceptional player. An
exceptional player with an exceptional goal, and that's very much now given Galway the upper hand in a game where Tipperary have bravely brought the challenge and carried the challenge to them, with the concession of those goals in the second half here, very much putting a completely different look on the scoreboard here, and Galway at this stage very much sensing now perhaps that a second championship win could be on the offering here, and a championship win that will not alone see them progress to the quarter-finals of the TG4 All-Ireland Ladies Senior Football Championship, but they will also be looking forward to the prospect of a home draw, which is significant as well. It's going to take a lot for Tipperary to come back now. It's a big test of character for them.
Yeah, look, there's probably 7 points in it now at this stage, and a big ask. 15 minutes left, you never know, especially with the conditions being so slippery and all that, but it'll be an interesting last 15 minutes and see what happens. A bit of substitutions coming on here, and players seem to be getting a run. You can see Tracy Leonard is going off there, and the Galway management are giving players a chance and giving them game time in the hope that they'll be making an impact.
From Kilkerran and Clonberne, yet another one of the famous Kilkerran and Clonberne contingent coming in there for them. So that'll just tell you, I suppose, the strength and depth of this Galway team, looking to, at inter-county level, replicate the success that Kilkerran and Clonberne have enjoyed in the club championship in recent years, not alone in Galway but in Connacht and indeed at All-Ireland level. Niamh Martin takes the free quickly. Urgency written all over the place now for Tipperary. That's a dangerous ball in there, and the umpire in the end signals that it has gone wide. Well, I think it may well have been kicked in by Nessa Towie. They had a player in there around the edge of the square. Galway goalkeeper Karen Connolly involved in it as well, and it just went out to the wrong side of the post for Tipperary and the right side for Galway.
Yeah, look, it could have went anyway there. Ash Maloney was inside. There's not too many people that'll compete compete with her height, and good ball in, just didn't fall well for him, and it went out wide, and Galway will be relieved with that. The ball's back in the goalie's hands, and they're ready for their next attack.
Karen Connolly from Corofin, getting ready to just survey what's going to be taking place in front of her as she gets her kick out away. Galway retain possession from the restart and immediately win themselves a free. Ball kicked out here to Siobhan Dively this time, the player who brings it forward. Now we're very much aided and abetted by those second half goals looking the part now at this stage as Lindsay Noon releases the ball to the inside forward line once more. Comes back out here to Leanne Cohen. Always seems to be able to manoeuvre herself out of any potentially difficult position she finds herself in. Eva Noon now is the player who runs at the Tipperary defence. Waits for somebody to break off the shoulder. Hannah Noon in that instance. And now they've walked it inside here again. Real possibilities. There goes the shot. And there's the finish. And it's brilliantly executed by Kate Slevin from Clare Galway. Well, she's got this knack of scoring goals off the bench. One last week against Cork. One this week against Tipperary. And Galway are galloping towards the quarterfinals now, it seems.
Absolutely. I think Kate has had major impact in the last 3 games. 2 games and now today's game, getting a goal in each, and I think like a huge impact sub, and very, very skillful, and someone who's high in energy when they're coming in at when teams are lethargic, so she'll be delighted with that.
Lauren Fitzpatrick will be wondering what has happened to the Tipperary defence in front of her in the second half. That's the concession now of the third goal in the second half, and here come Galway again. Lindsay Noon once more bringing it forward. The Galway bench is beginning to make an impact as well. Davern, Tipperary bodies tiring out there. It's been in the main rear guard action for them. Ball recycled out to Aoife Malloy. Running forward here again is Louise Ward. Scored a goal a little bit earlier. Olivia Diffley now going forward. Releases the pass again outside her. More possibilities here for Galway as the referee's whistle sounds to signal a free in. And really for Tipperary now at this stage, the momentum has totally changed, totally gone Galway's way. The likes of Katie Slevin is in there from Clare Galway, and there's so many potent threats coming off the Galway bench that it's really proven to be a difficult afternoon thus far for the Tipperary defence. Well, Katie Slevin missed one, well, we thought would have been a routine enough free earlier in the game. This time she's got the benefit of having scored a goal just a couple of moments ago in her favour, and she taps this one over the bar. 1-1 for Katie Slevin now after coming off the bench, and really at this stage now with Galway with 4-8 to 2-3 ahead. Tipperary have to be maybe even contemplating trying to get something out of the closing stages in this game, and maybe just to take something forward to the game against Cork, which will be coming up in 6 days' time.
Yeah, they really need to settle themselves back into this game. I think the last 2 goals are really after putting a dampener on the game, which was very, very exciting up until now, and Galway have really increased the gap between them, and look, you can see the subs that are coming on, and they're making such a difference. They're coming in and they're taking frees and whatnot, and that's absolutely brilliant to see from the Galway perspective that they have such a strong panel.
Such a strong panel, very evident. Niamh Martin this time finally gets a free in her favour. She kicks this one in again, lobs it in again, and it's finished to the net again by Aisling Maloney. Her second goal of the game from the corner forward. Well, she's rolled the sleeves up. That's exactly what Tipperary have to do, and Maloney has given them a lifeline.
Definitely excellent ball in, and look, they've been trying that with the last few times. They've been sending the ball in high, and as I said, there's not too many that'll compete with her height inside her, and she's excellent under the ball like that.
Well, Aisling Maloney has a little bit of a height advantage over the Galway defence, and maybe even the Galway goalkeeper in Karen Connolly, and that's obviously an area you've quite rightly identified that they've pinpointed maybe as might be somewhat agricultural, somewhat direct, but it could be a route to success.
Yeah, definitely. Look, they have 2 of them in on her now at the minute, and look, it's a signature nearly. A signature score by her at this stage, and punching that ball into the net, and look, it seems to be working. She's after getting her last 2 goals out of today in today's game, and Tip will be looking to send more in and see what she can do with them.
8 points between the teams. Tipperary's goalkeeper Lauren Fitzpatrick has pretty much thrown caution to the wind as well, as Emma Morrissey brings the ball forward. No prizes for guessing. They'll be using that aerial bombardment, you feel, a little bit more in the game as it goes along. Emma Morrissey in possession here. You can see there's 2 players inside there now trying to mark the aerial threat of the Tipperary corner forward, Ashley Maloney. Spillane is pushed right up there. So too as Laura Morrissey. Opportunities here for Maria Curley. Gets through the tackle. Still Maria Curley. Gets her shot away. Oh, and unfortunately shoots wide. Well, it's interesting there. We'd be wondering maybe after Galway just conceding the goal, there might be part of the crowd minds here would be thinking maybe they could have gone another sub incidentally coming in there for Tipperary, number 21 being brought in, Rosanna Kiley from the Care Club coming in, that you'd really feel that if that's the route to success, maybe they should use it a little bit more, that direct high ball in there. Yeah,
I think that they'll be disappointed with having conceded the goal to the opposite side, that they're trying to finding their way back into the game. And look, as you said, he's sending the ball in, and Ashley Maloney being inside. You couldn't ask for a better person to be sitting inside in the goal line, and I'm sure that the Galway goalie isn't too comfortable with her sitting in front of her.
And Karen Connolly will be a little bit concerned about that high ball going in, there's no doubt about that. Galway still, though, with a little bit to spare, plenty to spare, you could say, 8 points. And speaking of 8, it's the number 8, Nicola Ward, who comes charging forward with the ball now and sets up this latest attack. Back out it comes to Kate Slevin, 1-1 to her total after being sprung from the bench. Lindsay Noon has scored a goal in the game so far. Looks around for support. Galway have it with Eva Noon this time. So many forward players there for Galway at present. Hannah Noon gives the pass over to the far side before taking the return. Now the fisted pass inside. Great play here from Galway. Fitzpatrick came out of that to make a telling contribution. Lauren Fitzpatrick, alert, was able to come out and get a crucial hand to that. Tipperary breaking in with Rosanna Kiley just on the field, only after being introduced. The corner forward Ashley Maloney is a long way from goal this time. This time she's going to have to trouble Galway from further out the field. Onto the right boot. Decides to shoot from distance. Look at that, dropping in. And indeed drops in and drops over the bar. Well, 2-1 she scored. That is a player who is bang on form after scoring 2 goals to try a point like that, and it came off.
Oh, it's an unbelievable score from such a distance out under the pressure of 2 players there from Galway. An excellent score, excellent player, and you can see that they have two players on her trying to defend her, and she's still pulling off outstanding scores like that.
7 between the teams at this stage. Almost 55 minutes played. And once again, Karen Connolly, well, if Galway thought they might have been able to nullify the threat of Ashley Maloney with 2 players marking her at the edge of the square, she decided to drop out the field, decided to get scores herself, and as a result of that, very much put some of the difficulty in store there for the Tipperary, for the Galway defence. But Galway at the other end attacking now themselves. Possibilities of yet another score here from Eva Noon this time, and Eva Noon finds the range, finds the target, her opening point of the game, and Galway get the perfect response.
Yeah, excellent score. I think they're up to 8 scores now contributing to the scoreline, and brilliant spread of scores for Galway, and it's great to see, I suppose, on their, from their perspective, that they have such a spread.
8 scores and 8 between them. And Tipperary in possession once more as they come forward here. Nessa Towie, no time, but exactly won't be on their side now at this stage. But once more, possession is back here with Galway's full forward. Oliver Daverin plays this one right in there towards an advanced position. Andrea Trill from Clare Galway, another one of the subs who's come in. Some of these are really household names of the Galway management team, of the luxury of introducing as the match has progressed. Tipperary again moving forward here. Good running play. Ball being brought forward by one of their own subs who's making a difference here too, and Kathleen Downey. Going to ground was Niamh Martin, unfairly tackled by the Galway defence, and gets her pass away towards the direction there once again of Rosanna Kiley. Very much feeling her way into the match here is Cleona Dwyer. Good use of the full width of the pitch here by Tipperary as they move forward once again. Elaine Kelly trying to go up there. Once more, Aisling Maloney will be the intended target if they can just get the ball into her. And possibilities here once more for Cleona O'Dwyer. She's still screaming out for a pass in there. The goal machine for Tipperary if they can just navigate the ball in as far as her. Morrissey instead has held it up to Kylie. And Tipperary kick it back out the field here. Maybe a little bit too much laboured in their approach here as they look to try and get the ball forward, and eventually it comes here to this near side of the field to Laura Morrissey. Tipperary a little bit more direct this time now. Nessatawi. Here's more possibilities maybe for them here. O'Sullivan, another one of the players that they've brought in there, Emma O'Sullivan. And once more, that's going to be a free in. And it's going to be a quickly taken free by Niamh Martin, dropping it in there, but it was a little bit aimless this time, and it was never really going to give Aisling Maloney the opportunity. Well, they might be hitting the ball in high, and they might be looking to use her height advantage, but they still got to hit a quality ball into her.
Definitely, you know, you have to give her the chance anyway of getting the ball, and you could see there at one stage when Tipper in possession and Maloney was there with 3 players inside on her, and it's going to be hard. So as you said, it needs to be some sort of quality ball going into her.
So the ball has been kicked out and it comes all the way across to us this near side of the field this time. An opportunity again for Galway to attack. Siobhan Dively offloading it outside her there towards the direction of Eva Noon. Back to the full forward. Alva Davarin. And Davarin's shot goes out to the right of the post and out wide. It's an amazing start. I don't think she's managed to score in the game as of yet, which is the most good work from a Tipperary perspective to hold somebody like Galway's number 14 relatively.
Definitely, I know she scored 2-1 last week against Cork and a point against Mayo. She normally plays out in the midfield area, and they've moved her inside full forward.
It's just maybe hasn't exactly worked out for them. Meanwhile, another score there for Galway.
Olivia Dively have chipped in with another score.
Yeah, that's her second point of the game. So Olivia Dively now has hit 2 for Galway, and they now move to 4-10 on the scoreboard to 3-4 for Tipperary. So it really is turning into be a fairly comfortable experience in the end of the game here for Galway as they come forward once more. Ward bringing it down towards this near side to Eva Noon, back to Kate Garrity. Galway looks so comfortable as they move into this game management mode late on in the match. Leanne Cohen, so many options for them. Aoife Kelly, all the Galway players now outside their own 45-metre line, bar the goalkeeper who's been left minding the house, Kate Garrity. Galway deciding not to bring their goalkeeper out as a +1 in the game. Eva Noon, got enough of players out there you feel that can still be contribute significantly to the cause for them. That's got in there again towards Olivia Dively. Ball kicked in there forward once more as they get their full forward. Alva Davarin into possession. Switches it back to Lindsay Noon. Back out to Olivia Dively. Good play here from a Galway team that very much are looking more and more efficient and effective as the game wears on. Aoife Malloy. Eva Noon. Dangerous speculative ball inside. Could present another goal here for Galway. They're queuing up to take it. Davarin, brilliant block. Absolutely fantastic block on the line, and Tipperary survive with heroic defending.
Oh, brilliant defending there by Maria Curley. Got the block in the end. Absolutely superb out of the Tipperary defence there, and they've saved themselves of conceding another goal, and they're on the attack.
Well, Emma Cronin very much putting her body on the line, literally speaking, as Galway look to have carved them open for another goal when Tipperary's defence survives. And you often sometimes maybe wonder in relation to scoring average and so on and so forth. I don't think it's really going to be a factor now. Galway will have 2 wins by the looks of things at the end of today, and the game between Tipperary and Cork next week will be a clear shootout to see who is going to advance to the quarter-finals with them. Cork probably With the extra few days to recover, having lost their opening game and home advantage, it may be many people's favourites, but if Tipperary can replicate some of the football that we've seen in the opening half here, then anything is possible. Tipperary have upset big guns in the senior championship before, as you well remember.
Yeah, no, definitely, and I think, as you said, look, it's great to have that they'll have this game under their belt. They had a very, very pleasing first half, I think, from their own view, but they'll be disappointed with their second half and conceding the 4 goals that they have conceded, 3 goals in the second half. They'll be disappointed.
Yeah, those 3 goals conceded in the second half, all real killer blows. 2 of them maybe somewhat speculative goals, high balls that might have been maybe difficult to say for definite whether the attacking player for Galway was going for a point or a goal. 62 minutes into it now, and again it's possibilities here for Galway with Aoife Kelly, who has sprayed the ball way over to this near side of the field. As Galway again moved through the channels. Hannah Noon. Good release of the pass to Aoife Malloy. Eva Kelly in again here for Galway. A forward line that are just really beginning to purr now as Hannah Noon just gives the ball away, and with that the referee blows a full-time whistle, so it's a big victory in the end for Galway. 4 goals and 10 to 3 goals and 4. In many ways it was a dominant second half performance from a Galway team that I suppose was the difference in the end between them. Tipperary just couldn't keep it going in the second half like how they did in the first, but Galway at the same time knowing they've been through a difficult game here.
Yeah, I know Tipperary really put it up to them. Galway, I think, started becoming more direct and breaking through the lines in the second half, and I think that was the difference. They started getting in for those goals, and they really did give a big blow to Tip, and their confidence there at the start of the second half. So look, a lot of positives to take on Tipperary side of things as well from their first half performance, and they'll be looking forward to taking on Cork there now next Saturday, the 1st of July. So they'll see what they can bring into that game from today's performance.
That would be a big game indeed for them against Cork. From the Galway perspective, maybe initially they are going to be in a position now where they will have a home draw for the All-Ireland quarter-finals, and that's going to be a big advantage for them.
A huge advantage, and something that they'll be looking forward to, and they'll set them right up, I suppose, for the All-Ireland series, and I suppose they'll be happy enough with today's performance too. Maybe conceding 3 goals, they might look at that as to being a few too many, but other than that they'll be happy enough, I'm sure, in their camp this evening.
Peter Creedon, the Tipperary manager, congratulates his players on their performance. It's a big day for them in 6 days' time against Cork. Galway will march on to the quarter-finals and indeed will enjoy home advantage. They've won this one, 4 goals and 10 to 3 goals and 4. Pleasure as always to work with Samantha here on today's game. Thank you so much indeed for all of your help on it. The rest of our team here today in Tipperary on cameras, we had James Conlon and Kate Gilroy. Rory O'Brien was our director and producer, and from myself, John Lynch, thank you indeed for watching, and we'll talk to you all very soon again.